Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another one, yet another one. We've done quite a few of these in this pandemic, but I am delighted this morning. I have two very, very experienced individuals in the country of Sri Lanka. One is Manoj, and he is the top man at Teardrop Hotels, and I have Eleanor. But Eleanor, unfortunately, she's in the UK like me, but Manoj is in the lovely area of Sri Lanka by the look of it from his backdrop. Good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Yeah, and I go from Sri Lanka.
Good man, good man. Now, Manoj, how have things been? I presume that you've pretty much been in shutdown since the pandemic started. Have your hotels been open for local tourism, or have they just basically been shut down?
No. So we have been open from the month of June onwards. We had a bit of a lockdown which happened for 3 months, and then from June onwards we have been open. And I'd say the first 3 to 4 months we have been experiencing quite good occupancies at the properties also.
And where have those visitors come from?
And it's all locals and residents in Sri Lanka, yes.
So people just busting their gut to get out of their house and come and stay and have a little bit of TLC at a Teardrop Hotel. Yes, I understand. I understand the sentiment completely. Trust me.
Yes, that's correct.
Eleanor, you look after a sort of an elite collection. You represent and sell those here in the UK. What do you think that Sri Lanka has to offer the UK visitor in the months to come?
Yeah, that's right. So I represent 15 of the top boutique hotels in Sri Lanka. And it's been really interesting few months. So I've spoken to a lot of UK travel agents and tour operators over the last few months, as well as hoteliers in Sri Lanka. And I think most people feel Sri Lanka is in a very, very good position when the restrictions are eased and international tourists can start going back to Sri Lanka. And I think what it offers, on a practical term for travel agents and tour operators, the Sri Lankan industry has been brilliant at coming up with flexible cancellation policies, etc. So it's very good from that point of view. But in terms of what it offers the UK tourists, I think it offers what it's always offered, which is a wealth of different experiences around a very small country that's easy to navigate. So one of the good things is obviously most people who are doing a touring itinerary around Sri Lanka will be traveling in a private vehicle with a driver. So that's a very private experience. And then once you get out of the cities of Sri Lanka, it's not that densely populated. And a lot of these lovely boutique hotels are in quite remote, isolated areas, which I think is actually perfect for this kind of strange post or current COVID era we're currently in. And with all of the hotels I represent, a lot of them have got individual suites or rooms that are spread out from each other. So again, guests can always choose to be as private as they want to be and dine in their own veranda and their own garden. So I think it just gives a lot of flexibility in these kind of strange times we're in, and I think it's actually in a great position to welcome tourists again in the coming year.
Tell me a little bit about your company. I'm assuming that your hotels are not 1,000 bedroom convention hotels. They're actually more boutique and slightly more geared towards the leisure market. Can you tell me about your hotels, Manoj?
Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry. We represent actually 7 properties in total in Sri Lanka, in different areas, and especially in strategic, I would say, tourist destinations. But like Eleanor said, we are also more remote in that perspective. We are very close to the attraction, but again, very quite far from it too. So we have 7 in total. We have 1 close to the airport. We have 1. We actually have 2 down south, 1 on the beach and 1 in the Golf Fort. We have 1 called Lunuganga, which is Jeffrey Baba's country house. We have 3 tea estate bungalows in the hill country, spectacular views and stuff. They're quite small. It's 5 bedrooms, ranging up to about maximum of 18 bedrooms. Has its own verandas, immense amount of garden around the property. So there is a lot of space, and it's very airy when you come to our properties at Teardrop.
Excellent. I asked this question to both of you, but I'll ask it first to you, to Eleanor. Do you think that if we have this conversation in a year's time, that we will be talking about a tourism that is different from the one we remember from a year ago today? So if we, so the 2 years, a year ago, December 2019, will the tourism scenario and the tourism product and the feel, and in some respects, the number of people, do you think that will be totally different in 2021 this time?
Well, we are actually anticipating that with all the pent-up demand, that the high season next year, so sort of winter 2021 and early year 2022, could actually, fingers crossed, be a very, very busy season for Sri Lanka. How it might be different, yeah, we've spoken a lot about this with the tour operators and hoteliers, and we think that the pattern of the way people travel to Sri Lanka might be different. And I think what we're anticipating is that people will possibly go to less bases, less hotels in their stay, and probably stay longer at the hotels that they choose to stay at. So we've come up with some different sample itineraries for the Sri Lanka collection, just to sort of echo what we believe will be that new pattern. So we think that that might be something. I also spoke to one of the hoteliers from Y House that I represent in the South yesterday, and she's had a forward booking for next season for 21 days. Again, that's very unusual. Normally people would come and maybe maximum at the end of their trip, they might spend 4 or 5 days in one place, but she's had a forward booking for 21 days, which is extraordinary. So yeah, we do think that the pattern of travel might change. We think, slow travel. We also think, and a lot of people I've spoken to in the tourist industry in the UK think as well, that more people will be geared more towards boutique hotels than was previously the case as well, which is obviously very good for Manoj and I, who are particularly specialised in the boutique hotel area. So yeah, we're kind of looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting. And I think for all of us, we're going to sort of have to adapt with the times and see how things do change and just kind of be creative and embrace that.
This must sound like manna from heaven, all these Brits booking 21-day holidays in your hotels. Do you think that, in a year's time, Manoj, that, you'll be going to be, I hate to say back to normal, but you'll be back to using Sri Lankan hospitality, the goodwill natured of people, and service and those types of things that have often attracted people to Sri Lanka in the past, that they'll come back into the fore? Because whilst people are saying, yes, I want to be in a private car and I want to do this and I want to do that, if people have been vaccinated, there's no real reason for them to isolate away, because they're going to be protected. I'm just wondering if we will move back into it, or move to an era where there is to use Eleanor's term, slow tourism. People would take more time, people will appreciate more. And equally, you as a hotelier, you may appreciate the visitors coming back from international. Do you have a perspective on that, Manoj?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no one can resist, I think, the smile and the warmth of the people in Sri Lanka. So, and it is becoming much more affordable of a destination, looking at comparative to the destination which have open currently. So what we look at, actually, we feel that there is a lot of positivity which comes out of the pandemic after even the vaccine is out. And then people will look for more small boutique, exclusive, remote hotel partners to stay with. Even though yet, they have, got the vaccination, people will yet be a little cautious because, this is yet new. We are adapting to a lot of new normals, I would say, even in Sri Lanka. So it'll take a little bit of time, I guess, before everything happens, but slow and steady, I think we will be there very soon.
Good. Well, I think people might want to go slow because, quite frankly, it's better. That's one aspect of life. Just moving on a little bit, when do you expect, when are you budgeting, both of you, when are you budgeting for this avalanche of Brits booking 21-day holidays? Eleanor, where are you, are you thinking that, you've taken bookings now, but when will people start arriving? From May onwards, June, or for Sri Lanka, will it be later in the year because of the seasonality of it?
Yeah, well, I don't. As I'm a hotel representative, I don't actually handle bookings myself, but I regularly speak.
But you would get a feel for it.
But yeah, so what people are anticipating now is, well, we know the border's opening on the 1st of January, but when it opens initially, that's quite restrictive. So people have to stay in one hotel for 2 weeks, even though they can do sightseeing from that hotel. So we don't expect that most international tourists are going to come straight away. I think most of us are feeling that sort of spring, summer, hopefully by then there'll be a kind of phased easement of the restrictions, and then normal tourists will start to come sort of spring, summertime. That's what we're hoping, definitely. And when I've been speaking to tour operators and travel agents recently in the UK, they're definitely saying they've seen a pickup of more advanced bookings since the whole vaccination news in the UK. So yes, I spoke to somebody from a very big tour operator just yesterday, and they said they're already getting advanced bookings for late 2021 and even 2022 at the moment. So yeah, I mean, spring, summer, hopefully we'll see the beginning. Obviously, that's a relatively low season for Sri Lanka, but people are definitely booking already for the next season, 21-22.
Good. And is it same for you, Manoj?
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with, we see pickup coming from the months of May, June is a bit slow, but I would say from July onwards, yes. From summer onwards, we are getting, as she said, mentioned also during winter, which is 2020, 21, 22, we're getting quite long stay bookings, 17, 18 nights, which are coming also, which is good, positive signs for a destination as us.
Good. As far as the if you like, the day-to-day life in Sri Lanka for a tourist, there has been some mention in the past that, you know, that there's been an element of terrorism in the past and so on. What is life like now? Is there lots of security, or can one walk around safely? What's the status?
100%, it is secure. Because see, even in 2019, the East attack was one isolated event which happened. So we can't, think that it will keep moving on. There was mistakes which happened through the intels which came across, but now everything has been strengthened. The security system, the intelligence have been strengthened 100%, and there will be no threats there onwards. We have not heard about anything, and fingers crossed. So it's moving pretty well. People are back to their normal lives, how it goes. It's a very peaceful, calm destination. It's an island. We're all islanders at the end of the day.
Sure.
So we like to enjoy ourselves around our beaches, around the sunrise, and then the tea estates. I mean, it's variety. So there's no issues currently on hold. Yeah.
Well, it all sounds very enticing from my perspective, sitting in a darkened room in West Sussex where it's very cloudy, but and I'm sure it will be very attractive to lots of other people as well. So I wish you both the very best of luck in the coming months, and maybe we can have that conversation in December 2021 and just revisit some of these things we've spoken about and see if they've all come true like magic.
Let's hope so. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Yes.
Thanks very much, and have a good day or good evening for you, Manoj.
Thanks,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
See you soon. All right. See you.